The 1960s and 1970s, a time of change, of social revolution, and of television. This new medium wasn't just entertainment, it was a powerful force. It entered our living rooms, shaped our desires, and sold us a way of life. Advertisers knew this. They saw an opportunity to connect with consumers on a deeper level. Commercials weren't just selling products. They were selling ideas, dreams, reflecting and shaping American culture. Think about the catchy jingles, the memorable characters. These ads became part of our collective consciousness, part of our everyday conversations. They were more than just marketing. They were cultural artifacts, reflecting the anxieties, aspirations, and values of an era. And they continue to influence us today. Let's take a trip back in time, explore some of these iconic ads, and see how they changed the way we think, shop, and live. These weren't just commercials. They were cultural moments, shared experiences that sparked conversations and left a lasting impression. So buckle up. We're about to dive into the world of advertising's golden age. Coca-Cola, a brand synonymous with happiness, refreshment, and America itself. But in the late 1960s, even Coke needed a refresh. The world was changing, social movements were challenging the status quo, and Coke wanted to be part of the conversation. Enter Hilltop, a commercial featuring a diverse group of young people, all singing about their desire for a better world. The message was simple, yet powerful. Coke wasn't just a drink, it was a symbol of unity, of hope, of shared humanity. The commercial struck a chord, people loved it. The song "I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing" became a chart-topping hit, transcending advertising to become an anthem for peace and understanding. And it cemented Coke's image as a brand that understood the times. The Hilltop ad wasn't just about selling soda. It was about selling a feeling, a sense of belonging, of optimism. And it did so brilliantly. It showed the world the power of emotion in advertising, that a brand could be more than just a product. It could be a part of something bigger. The 1960s, America was obsessed with big cars, big engines, big fins. Then came Volkswagen with a radical idea: small is beautiful. The Volkswagen Beetle was unlike anything else on the road. It was small, quirky, and undeniably charming. But how do you sell a small car in a land of giants? With humor, with honesty, with self-deprecation. Volkswagen's ad campaign did just that. It poked fun at the Beetle's size, embraced its unconventional nature, and did so with wit and intelligence. The ads were revolutionary, challenging the very notion of what a car ad should be. They were minimalist, clever, and undeniably effective. The Beetle became a symbol of counterculture, of individuality, of thinking differently. Volkswagen's success was a testament to the power of honesty, of self-awareness. They didn't try to be something they weren't. They embraced their quirks, and in doing so, they created a brand that was both relatable and aspirational. The Marlboro Man, a lone cowboy riding through the American West. He was the epitome of rugged individualism, of freedom, of masculinity. He was also a creation of advertising. Before the Marlboro Man, Marlboro was a women's cigarette brand, filtered, mild, and not doing so well. Then came a brilliant rebranding. Enter the Marlboro Man. He was everything the brand wasn't. He was strong, he was silent, he was the embodiment of American masculinity. The campaign was a massive success. Marlboro became the best-selling cigarette brand in the world. The Marlboro Man became an American icon. He represented a fantasy, a longing for a simpler time, for freedom and adventure. The Marlboro Man was controversial. He glamorized smoking. He linked it to masculinity and adventure. But there's no denying his impact. He showed the power of image, of storytelling, of creating an aspirational figure that people wanted to emulate. Alka-Seltzer, the go-to remedy for heartburn and indigestion. But in the 1960s, they faced a problem. People only took it when they felt sick. How do you get people to think about your product even when they feel good? Enter plop, plop, fizz, fizz. This simple jingle became a cultural phenomenon. It was catchy, it was memorable, and it worked. People started associating those four words with relief, with feeling better. The campaign was a stroke of genius. It took a mundane product, and it made it memorable. The jingle was everywhere, on TV, on the radio, in people's heads. It was impossible to forget. The plop, plop, fizz, fizz campaign proved the power of a good jingle. It showed that even a simple phrase could become deeply ingrained in the public consciousness. It was a reminder that sometimes the simplest ideas are the most effective. The 1980s. The fast food industry was booming, but it was also becoming generic. Every burger started to look the same. Then came Wendy's, with a question. Where's the beef? The ad featured Clara Peller, a tiny, elderly woman, with a booming voice. She was outraged by the small, flimsy burgers offered by competitors. Wendy's, she declared, had the real beef. The commercial was an instant sensation. Where's the beef? Became a national catchphrase. It was a challenge, a demand for quality, and it resonated with consumers. Wendy's didn't just call out their competitors. They did it with humor, with a memorable character, and with a clear message. It was a masterclass in using humor and personality to stand out in a crowded market. Life cereal, a healthy breakfast option, but not exactly a kid favorite. So how do you convince children to eat something they think they won't like? Enter Mikey, the pickiest eater ever. The commercial showed two older brothers trying to get their little brother Mikey to eat Life cereal. They figured if Mikey liked it, anyone would. To their surprise, he devoured it. Mikey likes it became a national catchphrase. The ad worked because it was relatable. Every family had a picky eater. And seeing Mikey, the pickiest eater of them all, enjoy Life cereal made it seem more appealing. It was the power of social proof in action. The Mikey Likes It campaign was a huge success. It made Life cereal a breakfast staple. And it proved that sometimes the best way to sell a product is to show, not tell. Let the product speak for itself, or in this case, let Mikey speak for it. The 1970s. Life was hectic. People were working longer hours and the pace of life was accelerating. McDonald's saw an opportunity to position themselves as the antidote to the daily grind. Their slogan, "You deserve a break today," became a cultural touchstone. It was a simple message, but incredibly effective. It acknowledged the stresses of modern life and offered a solution, a break at McDonald's. The campaign wasn't just about selling burgers and fries. It was about selling a feeling, a sense of relief, of indulgence, of taking a moment for yourself. And it worked. McDonald's became synonymous with affordable comfort food. The "You Deserve a Break Today" campaign was a masterclass in understanding the emotional needs of consumers. It tapped into a universal desire for escape, for a moment of peace in a hectic world, and it offered a simple, satisfying solution. Kodak. The name was synonymous with photography, with capturing memories. Their ads weren't just selling cameras and film, they were selling the idea of preserving life's precious moments, of holding on to memories that would last a lifetime. Their commercials often featured heartwarming scenes, families gathering for holidays, children blowing out birthday candles, couples sharing a kiss. These images evoked a powerful emotional response. The tagline, "Kodak Moments," became a part of the cultural lexicon. It encapsulated the idea that some moments are so special, they deserve to be captured and cherished forever. And Kodak, of course, was the key to making that happen. Kodak's success was built on understanding the emotional power of photography. They weren't just selling a product, they were selling a feeling, a connection to the people and moments that mattered most. Jingles. Those catchy tunes that get stuck in your head, they were a staple of advertising in the 60s and 70s. And some of them were so effective, they're still remembered today. Think about Band-Aid's "I Am Stuck on Band-Aid" brand, or Oscar Mayer's "My Bologna Has a First Name, It's OSCAR." These jingles were more than just music, they were mnemonic devices. They made brands and products impossible to forget. Jingles worked because they tapped into the power of repetition, of melody, of rhyme. They were designed to get stuck in your head. And they did, whether you liked it or not. These jingles, as annoying as they might have seemed at times, were incredibly effective. They turned brands into household names and demonstrated the power of music in shaping consumer behavior. The 1960s and 1970s were a golden age for advertising. It was a time of creativity, of innovation, of pushing boundaries. And while some of these ads might seem quaint or even cheesy by today's standards, there's no denying their impact. These ads shaped our culture. They influenced our tastes. They created desires we didn't even know we had. And they left an enduring legacy on the advertising industry. They taught us the power of storytelling, of emotion, of connecting with consumers on a deeper level. The lessons learned from these iconic ads are still relevant today. In the age of social media and digital marketing, the fundamentals remain the same. Grab attention, tell a story, make an emotional connection. And maybe, just maybe, you'll create something that stands the test of time, something that people will still be talking about decades from now. The ads of the 60s and 70s weren't just commercials, they were cultural moments. They were a reflection of who we were and who we wanted to be. And their influence can still be felt today in the ways brands try to connect with us, to sell us not just products, but ideas, emotions, and dreams.